betrayed. They used us.
Person after person left Miami's immigration court in tears Thursday.
And there's actually people sobbing on the other line, crying and scared for the family members.
Practically the same day he took office, he went against Venezuelans. It seemed personal.
I got deported because I voted for Donald Trump. Now everybody's getting deported because they voted for Donald Trump.
And they thought they were white. They thought they were better. And now they are getting deported, massively deported. I see it here in Vegas. Is almost no Latinos in the casinos. The casino business is down like 20-30% because Hispanics are not coming to Vegas. They are avoiding traveling, and our economy is going down. So stay towards the end because I got you a really interesting video. Please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Help us to support liberal media. Help us to support my channel, the MAGA Nuts. All the subscribes are all the likes. Help us to support liberal media.
This message is for my Hispanic people who think they're white. Come here. Honey, you are not white. They do not consider you one of them. You look like a damn clown. Be so real. Thank you.
Because he views that as unconstitutional. Now, where do y'all think this came from? This came from us. That's correct. That came from black people. And I find it very interesting how the Asians were used to attack black people. Latinos are now being used to attack black people. And it's all coming back to haunt y'all. All right? Because you still had Asians trying to say, well, I'm being discriminated against in the college applications. They still not getting into college. What are you talking about? You thought it was black people that was holding Asian people back from getting into college? They used you for affirmative action. That's what they used you. Got that struck down. Now you have the Latinos, all right? Now the Latino voting for Trump because, oh, we want to get rid of the economy and everything. Economy is in the dumper, okay? It's in the absolute the bottom of the barrel. That's where we're at, okay? All these businesses that y'all had started while you came over here legally, now they're failing, all right? You have white businesses that are failing. So you know Latino business is going to be failing under this administration. Those businesses are failing. On top of that, people are afraid to go out because you're afraid to get deported. So now you don't even have a customer base. Now on top of that, they're like, hey, we're not even going to give you money to educate yourselves. No more grants because you set up the precedent thanks to black people. That's what y'all did. Because you struck down the Fearless Fund, which was for a grant for black American women to start businesses, which is insane. Mind you, the same people will tell you, lift yourself up by the bootstrap. They don't want that, okay? They've never wanted that. They want you to fail. They come here to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they want you to do, all right? So you have that. Then you have the affirmative action, right? So what they are trying to do is anything that they feel it is not for white people, that is racist to them. That is unconstitutional to them. They be damned about the history. We see what they doing with the history, bruh. You see Trump, when it comes to the Smithsonian, they about to rewrite the history. I would not be surprised if Trump were to take the Declaration of Independence with an eraser and try to erase it, be like, nah, I don't like what that says. See, this is the actual Declaration of Independence. We found it. It was underneath my desk this entire time. That's what he would do. They rewriting history to fit the narrative, to fit their agenda, and now we all suffering for it. I told y'all about this, but that's what's happening. And you best believe y'all are going to get punished more than black people. What you have to understand, whether or not you like it or not, many black people have grown accustomed to the nonsense, okay? They've grown accustomed to it. Now, I would say that is post-traumatic slave syndrome, and we got to get rid of that, okay? But for the most part, there's a good chunk of the generation who's like, yeah, okay, fine. I mean, I was doing fine without that money, but all right, I'll figure it out. You know, I was doing fine without, affirmative action, but all right, I'll figure it out.
We cannot be mad at people
who believed something that he lied to them about without asking them, we have to listen, we have to, okay, be mad. But don't give up. Don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. Don't turn your back to them. Don't. We can't. You know, we can't have, it's going, I mean, look, I get it. I really do. But we can't give up on people. Especially, we can't give up on people. And because we can't. And when I think about, you know, and obviously a Latino voter, this is not a monolith. We have, you know, to your point of your father's from one place, your mother's from another, you are, right? Within one family, there's incredible diversity around life experience and needs. So I'd also want to make sure that Democrats, because this is part of what I find to be troubling about the Democratic Party, is we tend to put people in boxes and leave them there. And that's part of what's wrong, is we have to understand the diversity within each population and then get to understand what their needs are and figure out, are we speaking to those needs? And that's some serious work that needs to happen, including as it relates to Latino voters.
I so disagree with Kamala here. She changed the tone, you know, when she was in the middle of it, she was just saying that. How can we not incriminate or blame people? This is what she's saying. She was just saying that we cannot blame people because they lied to them. It wasn't no lie. Black people been reading between the lines for centuries by now. You're just gonna tell me that the Latino population somehow they couldn't read between lines? In his rallies, the first signs that you have in there is mass deportation. It's people in the Latino community that their fiancés, their husband, they know their fiancés or their husband, they had criminal records for 20 years or 15 years ago. And so how with that sign, mass deportation, and we all only gonna deport the criminals, they couldn't get the signs. The reading between lines, that your spouse can be one of these criminals because your spouse have a criminal record of 20 years ago. Somehow they couldn't. They didn't know that the racist buffoon, some of the he is not going to deport all of them. And how you just keep on saying, he just keep on saying 60 million people of Latinos are gonna get deported somehow. This is the thing with the Latino community. Many of them are extremely religious. And Donald Trump, the same way the Bush son did, they go to the evangelical community, they go to churches, and they go there and they just, oh yes, Christ. They read the Bible. They just bring the Bible everywhere. They do this show, okay, where they present themselves as a Christians, but they are not truly Christians.
I just want to say, watching these raids happen in LA right now, people voted for this. People voted for this, and I think right now the Black and the brown community, we need to come together, and we need to remember that they are the ones who made it us versus them. They put us against each other because if we're busy fighting each other, we don't put our eyes on them. We need to wake up. Everybody needs to wake up.
Girl, you need to wake up. Not the Hispanics calling on the Black people for help. Really? Where were y'all during George Floyd? Where were y'all during Sandra Bland? Where were y'all during all of the white cops killing Black people, where are y'all? But y'all want us to come together. Really? Really? Why y'all calling on us? Why y'all calling on the black people? Why y'all not calling on Asians? They're a minority too. Why y'all calling for us? If you go on my page, you will see I made a post about how there was a Trump rally for Trump back in 2020, before he even got elected 4 years ago. And there was a crowd full of Hispanics, and the song was saying, I will vote for Donald Trump. Y'all want it. Y'all got it. Y'all got him into office, and now y'all want to double back and ask for help, calling all the African Americans to help. Like, come on now. We gonna stay out of this. We gonna stay as far away from this. Y'all can continue to riot and make yourselves look bad, but we gonna stay out of this.
There is nothing worse than Latinos for Trump. And I can say that wholeheartedly because this man called us animals. He said, we're poisoning the blood of America. We're an invading force. And if you think that he's not talking about you because you're first, second, third generation, because you were born here, look at what he's trying to do with the 14th Amendment. He's trying to take away birthright citizenship. Being born here no longer matters. Look at the people who are being detained by ICE. It's not just the people who are the worst of the worst. It is people who are here legally at asylum, fighting their case in court, doing things the right way. They're picking them up at court. Do these people who are the worst of the worst, the rapists, the unalivers, the traffickers, do they show up to court? That's not how that works. Not only that, the people who are getting picked up are also people who are here legally, legal residents and American citizens. Those are the people being affected every single day by this administration and their anti-immigrant rhetoric. People are being unalived because they listen to this rhetoric and they're going around and they're targeting people. Other people are dressing up as ICE agents and picking women up to assault them, to grape them, and extorting our people because they're wearing masks and they're not identifying themselves and they're in unmarked cars. So our people can't tell the difference between someone who's impersonating ICE and someone who actually is ICE. Our community is being terrorized. All of us, every single brown person is being terrorized by this administration. And you, as somebody who calls yourself Latino for Trump, voted for that. So yes, there is nothing worse than Latinos for Trump. I hope you remember this when your family's affected.
Trump all the way.
Are you for Trump?
Absolutely.
So what would you say to someone who says you're Mexican and Trump hates us?
He doesn't hate us. He hates the lawbreakers.
That's
he
right.
hates the illegals. Don't come here illegally. Welcome. Come. I did. Not illegally.
That's right. I came here too legally.
Yeah, and making a difference.
That's
Not
right.
hurting anybody, not stealing from anybody, earning your way.
Well, God bless you
That's
for being
it.
on the Trump train.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, God is going to prevail through Trump.
That's right.
Press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayal.
No.
Beyond betrayal.
Shocking.
They used us.
No.
They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during
Speak on
the
it, sis.
campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
I can believe that. Hey.
What problems are you talking about?
My culture is a very dominant culture. And it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I have to let Adriano in here.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means, and I'm almost afraid to ask.
I'm offended.
I'll tell you what that means. The
says,
Spanish never conquered Mexico. We are a culture that we have a lot of good things that we bring to the United States, but we also have problems. And you guys are going nuts over something that there's a 10th step to this problem, and you guys are already talking about the 10th step. We haven't even started.
they denied my application. I have to leave by August the 3rd. President Donald Trump has said many times that he loves our military. So my husband, when he ran his campaign, he mentioned how much he loves the military. And every time he has opportunity, he's laid out and said, I love our military. So when he was running for president, I told my husband, I'm like, are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's saying he's going to deport criminals. You're not a criminal. Every time we go to ICE, they tell you, Mr. Juarez, your wife is not a criminal. You're not a criminal. You don't have to worry about anything. He voted for him, and now he's deporting his wife. And now they deported me. They kicking me out, and they breaking my family apart. Before you enlist in the military, think it twice. Before you marry an immigrant, think it twice. Think it if it's really worth for you to sell this country. Because look how they treat me.
A wave of disappointment. One of President Donald Trump's most loyal voting blocs, Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants. Now speaking out in Miami, a Republican stronghold, as the recent wave of deportations hits home. Elena Conde says she came here from Cuba by plane on humanitarian parole in 2023.
I myself am Cuban. My whole family is immigrants, so you would think, hey, I'm pro-immigrant. He can offend Cubans tomorrow and I wouldn't care, as long as my life is better and my peers are enjoying their life as well.
What I would like to see is more jobs come up here, less war, a backbone for America, a better immigration policy. My father came here, got us all citizenships from overseas. He had 4 children. He brought us into all those things to give us a better future. Things are AWire. Let's see what we could get done in this go-around with Trump.
I know tons of people that just came from Cuba 20 years ago, doctors, and they've done their American dream. They've done their due process.
I wanted to see Trump back in the White House. And I think people who come here legally, or people who are here and see what is going on with the immigration and how they're giving thousands and thousands of dollars for these people who are coming here, money that they could be spending on the problems that we have in our country.
Florida will be the downfall of Latinos and Hispanics every time. Florida is what I will vote for Donald Trump. Florida is the home of I will vote for Donald Trump. That's where they live. Voy a votar for Donald Trump. The Florida Hispanics had a hit with that one. Y'all trash. Y'all trash. Trump trash. His wig is trash. All y'all are garbage, okay? Y'all gonna be the downfall of the Latinos every motherfucking time. Florida Latinos, Hispanics from Florida? You cannot tell them that they are not Caucasian. Like, it's really just ridiculous.
While Didi Espinosa was being handcuffed by ICE agents in the hallway of federal court in Miami, his wife was yelling, quote, "This is unfair. It's not fair." A U.S. citizen married to 44-year-old Espinosa, born in Cuba. The couple met 2 years ago. This month, they got married. They had to wait for his divorce to be approved. On Monday afternoon, he was detained.
Administration officials have been sending babies and other young children. Oh, hold on. To at least 3. Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Do we have it? No. 3 tender age shelters in South Texas. Lawyers and medical providers just, I think I'm going to have to hand this off. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't know how the Latino community forgot then the last Trump administration, the last Trump 4 years in the presidency, he separated babies, 2 months babies for their parents, where the parents were in like Florida and then the kid was in California. They did that. How can you vote this person in power? How your bias, your racism can be stronger than what is better for yourself. This is ridiculous.
You know what's absolutely disgusting? The fact that the McDonald Trump administration is once again ripping migrant children away from their homes and throwing them into government custody. And in some of these cases, it's not because the parents did anything wrong. It's just because someone in the family was accused of something. There's no trial, no conviction, just guilt by association. They are literally punishing children for who their dad is. That's not justice, that's collective punishment, and it's morally bankrupt. And because I'm a wizard and I can see into the future, I already know some dumbasses are going to jump in the comments saying, well, Obama did it too, or Biden separates families too. So let's talk about that. Yes, under Obama and Biden, there have been instances where families were separated. But the reasons and the intent actually matter, people. Under Obama, it usually only happened in cases where the parents were charged with a serious crime or there were legitimate concerns about child abuse or trafficking. And under Biden, it's mostly been bureaucratic breakdowns or safety issues, not a formal policy. Biden even created a task force specifically to reunite families that Trump tore apart. But under McDonald Trump, it's different. It is deliberate. His administration actually created a policy, zero tolerance, where they prosecuted every single adult for crossing the border just so they could separate families on purpose. And they did it without any system to track the kids. That's how we ended up with thousands of children who literally could not reunite with their parents because the government lost track of who belonged to it. Just for you idiots who think Biden's fault that all those kids are missing. It wasn't about protecting kids, though. It was about punishing immigrants. So when people try to pretend it's all the same, they're fucking lying, or they just don't care enough to learn the differences. This isn't about left or right. This is about basic humanity. You cannot say you're pro-life, pro-family, or pro-freedom while you're defending a government, zip-tying children and tearing families apart with no due process. This is why we speak up, because if we let them do this to immigrant families without saying a word, they'll feel emboldened to do worse, and they fucking will.
So, Governor, forgive me. I've got to sit down because I am not feeling well.
Okay, so I know y'all remember her. That's Ileana Garcia, who I just recently found out is the leader and creator of Latinos for Trump. And she recently released a statement saying that the White House immigration crackdown was inhumane. Now, she said, this is not what we voted for, State Senator Ileana Garcia said in a statement on Saturday. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane.
Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned on.
You politicians that are saying this, I don't know if you are saying this because you're hoping to get points back with your community, with your constituents who know that you sold them up the river, but it's not going to work. One, this is what you voted for. Do you not remember when this man held a rally and there was one person there that he didn't like at the rally? So he instructed the group of people to beat that person up and drag them out of the rally?
Get her out of here. But there's a slob. There's a real slob.
If he does that with somebody at a rally, what do you think he would do with the people that he has labeled horrible things that he says don't belong in this country? Y'all did know this was going to happen. This is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. Because if you didn't want this, there was another clear option of somebody who was not going to do any of this. And the fact that you're the leader of a group called Latinas for Trump, that is Latin women for Trump, says it all. I cannot believe that you decided to put out this statement. Girl, bye.
The Latinos who voted for Trump because you have papers and you're safe and you're okay and you're good, let's not forget that the only reason that you have those papers is because at some point, someone in your bloodline came to this country illegally and got them.
I am in so much shock with the amount of Latinos for Trump that are now coming out saying we feel so backstabbed, we feel so betrayed, we feel used now that our families are being deported even though they're not criminals. You didn't feel that way when Donald Trump was talking about the Mexican families that he was going to be deporting. You didn't feel that way when he spoke about other minority groups that he was going to be deporting. But now that it's affecting your family, your uncle, your cousin, now you want to cry about it? Now you want to cry crocodile tears? Girlfriend, I don't feel bad for you.
I got a question to my Latinos for Trump. How y'all feel today? Do y'all see what's going on in California right now? Do y'all see how voting for Donald Trump didn't give y'all a single brownie point with white uneducated voters? How it did y'all no good. Wearing a MAGA hat, thinking that that was going to put y'all above it all. Now, abuela, tío, and tia, and mijo, and mija, everybody getting sent up out of here. Without an ounce of due process, right along with you. How y'all feel today? Honestly. Y'all did all that Latinos for Trump, we love Trump. Now you're up out of here. Y'all were the deciding factor in all of this. White, uneducated voters were going to vote for Trump no matter what. That was a lost cause. But you people, on the other hand, whole different ball game. This was an open book test, and y'all failed.
So let me get this straight. Your dad is a Latino with 6 months left to live, and now that he's been picked up by ICE on the orders of Trump, which, get this, you are a Latina and you voted for him. Now your dad's going to spend the last 6 months of his life either in a cell or deported. And now you come on TikTok talking about unity. We need to have unity. We need to come together as a community. Why your ass ain't come together at the polls? Why you ain't come together at them polls, mama? You said that you didn't educate yourself on the immigration policies. That is literally the main point that he ran his entire campaign on. There's literally no way that you could have missed that. It's literally not possible. And then y'all come on here and y'all want people to have sympathy for y'all. Sympathy for what? You ain't have sympathy for the other immigrants that you wanted to get deported when you cast your vote? You just thought your dad was going to be the exception, huh? I don't know. Shit like that really get me irritated because, like, you didn't have sympathy for all the other people and all the other minorities that were going to be affected if he got into office. But as soon as one of the people who voted for him actually starts getting affected in real life, now I want to come on TikTok talking about we need you.
Do I regret voting for Donald Trump? 100,000 times yes. The mass deportation that is happening, I mean, the unconstitutional rights that are happening, all of the AI bills that are being signed right now. I mean, I can go on and on. The banning of different countries from coming into America, that was my last straw. And I think a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump also say the same thing.
How does the Latino vote differ so much from the black vote? Because we got our own white people. Oh. And people don't understand that we have all, and the assimilation possibility for Latinx, Latin people is higher. People can come from other parts of Latin America, marry white as like they're told to do, assimilate and assume a white identity that black people cannot escape from. So they will continue to vote in that way because to them that's upward mobility. And unfortunately for us, success means being patted on the back. Not all of us, because y'all gonna go crazy on Twitter. I ain't got a Twitter, so it's okay. But they get the pat on the back from white people, and they feel like that's what being American is. Damn. And that colorism is real in our community. It is real.
U.S. propaganda is so good that it has indigenous Mexicans thinking that they're white. This is Nino Rodriguez, an indigenous Mexican who thinks he's white and denies being Mexican. Check it out.
But what is your ethnicity? Are you full-blooded American? Were you born in the United States?
I'm white. I'm not a Mexican. I don't claim to be a Mexican. Hispanic, white, black. White. I identify as white. I ain't a Mexican. I'm an American. I was born here.
He also thinks that being bilingual is a disadvantage and believes in speaking English only. Check this out.
Now, this is why I choose to speak English only, and why I encourage others to do so as well, as far as people that I come across that are, Mexican, brown, whatever you want to call it, that are not born in America, should I say.
You can tell the accent is so forced. I'm an American. I speak American. Look, Nino, you wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Mexico. I get it. You were born in the U.S. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But your DNA is Mexican, bro. In 1,000 years, when archaeologists uncover your bones and they analyze your DNA, they're going to be like, yeah, that's a Mexican. Also, bro, anybody born here is American. You're a proud U.S. citizen, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just so you know, anybody born anywhere here is American. Here's the crazy part, bro. Somebody that looks like me, somebody that you want to look like, is 60% indigenous Mexican. I am 60% indigenous Mexican. If somebody that looks like me is 60% indigenous, what does that say about you? I've also had many people reach out to me saying that they live in the same area as he does, or they know him personally, and that his real name is Chris, that he's a failed rapper, and that his family is from Chihuahua, Mexico. to no one's surprise. But there you have it, guys. Just because you bring a Chihuahua to the US and it has puppies, it doesn't mean that those puppies are German Shepherds. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
Now, Randy, what'd you just say?
I said you were right about Trump.
What was I right about Trump?
And when I talk to, because I already told you guys that I have a lot of conservative friends, like some of my, we're gonna say like 50% of my friends, they are Republicans, okay? They are MAGA. They are Trump supporter followers. And when I talk to some of my friends, they just say like, but Obama deported more people than the Trump ever did. And here I have some clips that explain that clearly, okay? For anybody can come to you and tell you, yes, but Obama deported more people, but Obama, that's what you're gonna tell them. Here, 3 clips that are gonna explain you everything. I think it's 2 or 3, okay? So just make sure that you just watch it towards the end.
These are the biggest differences between the Obama era and the Trump era as an immigration lawyer. The first and most important one is DACA. The Obama administration enacted DACA to provide protections to children who entered the US with their parents who were undocumented. However, under the Trump administration, we saw a halt on any new DACA applications. The second biggest difference is the policy surrounding the public charge rule. The Trump administration made it so that USCIS could deny visas based on someone's educational background and whether the officer believes that this person could become a public charge to the US, meaning that in the future they could ask for government benefits. The last is the travel ban. So during the Trump administration, we saw a travel ban from major Muslim countries. This included not only just immigrant visas, but also non-immigrant visas.
In the United States history, yes, when confronted with any sort of backlash towards Trump deportation policy, this is y'all's only defense. Every single time, but Obama, but let's talk about Obama. I called Obama deporter-in-chief. Statistically, they're not wrong. Barack Obama deported more people than any other president in U.S. history, so why didn't I include him in my first video? Over 3 million people, and that's the brutal truth. The context, that matters too. Between 2009 and 2017, Obama oversaw roughly 3.2 million deportations. Most of those were border removals. People caught crossing, processed quickly, and sent back. That wasn't new. What's new is how they were counted. Obama's administration changed the definition of deportation, counting border turnarounds as deportations for the first time. It inflated the numbers. You know what it wasn't? It wasn't mass raids in cities. Obama wasn't perfect, far from it. He did enforce harsh laws and signed off on ICE raids. He expanded a deportation machine that Trump is now currently abusing. That's why when Republicans say that Democrats are for open borders, it's proven to be false, because that's not what many of us want. Obama gave us DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, protecting nearly 800,000 dreamers from deportation, and he wanted to expand that to DAPA for parents of U.S. citizen children, but the courts blocked that. In his second term, he shifted policy, focusing deportation on recent border crossers and criminals, not families or long-term residents. It's a far cry from Trump's approach. Trump's deportation numbers are lower than Obama's, under 1 million during his first term. But don't be fooled by numbers. Trump's approach is all about racism. That's why people are mad. That's why people are crying out and protesting. He built his brand on demonizing immigrants. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they are grapists, calling them animals, invasions, saying they come from shithole countries. He didn't just weaponize ICE. He's militarized cruelty. He's made ASMR videos of deportation. He's made family separation policy, supporting children mid-treatment, supporting the elderly who are dying, people in the middle of bettering their lives in school. Obama deported people because the law said he could. Trump deports people to make an example out of them. Here's what they don't want you to notice. And X, you're doing a really good job of that. Immigration is always the right wing's favorite distraction. When wages are stagnant, blame immigrants. When healthcare costs rise, blame immigrants. When billionaires hoard the wealth and corporations exploit labor, you guessed it, blame the immigrants. It's never the monopolies, never the broken safety nets, never the parades that cost millions and millions of dollars. It's always that brown guy that's crossing the border. Aren't y'all getting sick of this yet? So yes, Obama has the numbers, and his policies were flawed. They didn't come with the same motivations. One built a system that needed reform, and the other lit it on fire.
And do you guys can see the difference? Do you guys can see the difference of the treatment between Obama to the Latinos and Trump to the Latinos? Obama gave us DACA. Biden give TPS for Venezuelans, Hondurans, Cubans. What the Donald Trump had done for the Latino community? Nothing. Just a big deportation, a big roll of deportations, terrorizing the Latino community. And you know what is in the news right now? Then they sent to Alligator Alcatraz 1,700 Latinos that they wasn't even illegal. Some of them have the legal status clearly. Okay, they have good status. And they say 1,700. Well, 1,500 of those people is completely lost in the system. They cannot find them. They don't know where they are. They did that. They did that. They don't know if they have been sent to jails to Sudan. They don't know if they've been sent to jails in Salvador. They don't know if they just killed them. We just don't know where those 1,500 people is right now. It's nowhere to find them. ICE doesn't know where they are. They're family member of these people. They don't know where these people are. This is just a freaking mess. It is a freaking mess. And the Latino community, the ones that voted for Trump, need to be blamed for this. This is something that they do to their own race. This is something that they do to their own Latinos. They did that. They did that to people. So please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow and it helps other people to find my content and my video. Please help us to support liberal media. And also, I'm like a kid in the candy store. Every time that I get money for coffee, I will leave you all the information. If you want to send me money for coffee, I will highly appreciate it. You guys take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.